Oh, you're going to do the about
section. You're running through the darkness.
Hi, welcome to Between the Covers podcast. I'm Nyx.
And I'm Ophelia.
And we read terrible romance novels for your enjoyment. Lucky us, huh? So tonight's book is called Romance, Undercover by R.G. Winter. And Ms. Winter has been proven to be very elusive, and we don't have a whole lot of information.
Mrs. Winter.
Oh, right. No, she's married. Right. Sorry. Yeah. Well, you know, in the South, MS. is like that sort of gray area where it doesn't necessarily denote married and it doesn't necessarily denote single. You know, where you have Miss and Mrs. Ms. is kind of in the middle. It's sort of, yeah. It's just MS. Yeah. So that's what I usually go with because it's just as vague as this person seems to be, honestly. But do we have a cover of the book or?
Yep, very brought up.
Word. Okay, cool. So yes, very dark and sinister. But why don't you give us the little bit
about?
Right, the little.
Well, we were trying to figure out. I didn't realize there was an about at the end of the book, and I had done research trying to figure out who R.G. Winter was. And we thought it might be a man.
I definitely thought that it was a man based on the writing style. It was very poorly written, but that doesn't necessarily denote a male author.
It wasn't the writing style. It was what.
No, it was the writing style. Like just the way that sentences were constructed and the imagery that was conveyed was seemingly very masculine. Like any description of a woman's body was like typically what it would be like a dude reading a Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition out loud to his blind friend. You know what I mean? Like, oh, and her giant tits and like her tiny waist and the ripple of her abs that have seen 1,000 crunches and like this and that. And I was just like, this doesn't sound like a woman writing this at all.
Yeah.
Because women are very much about like a full bosom or, you know, like the curves of her hips or like, you know, the language tends to be more flowery. And this was very direct and sexual, like just straight up front. So that was what made me think it might be a male author.
Thought it was the psychopathic tendencies.
That too.
But anyway, first, R.G. Winter is a throwback romantic dreamer with some street smart wisdom gleaned from years of observation and diverse living environments.
I'm going to stop you right there. That reads, has been poor many different times in their life.
Yeah.
Quote unquote, diverse living arrangements, you know.
She lives within view of a developed downtown skyline, but
Compton.
picks and chooses. Is she black? We'll get into that next week.
Go ahead, sorry.
She picks and chooses the times she engages in highly populated activities. Balance between rural and the city, R.G. Winter shares daily life with her husband and soulmate and their passion for social justice.
Social justice, which is crazy because this book was written by someone who has like sociopathic fantasies,
Yeah.
honestly.
Hold on. Is she homeless?
She might be.
That would make sense. View of the city skyline.
For our listeners, both audio and visual, we have the Peanut Gallery with us tonight. So
Hello.
yeah, homeless makes sense. Also, it really bothers me that it says splitting her life between the what does it say? balance between rural and the city, like that's not correct sentence structure whatsoever. But also, why wouldn't you use urban, like, but balanced between a rural and urban environment, like that would be a better way. You know what, I should just rewrite this book and it'll be way better because this is terribly written. Anywho.
Well, I kind of like the sociopathy. Is that what you? How do you pronounce that?
Sociopathy.
Sociopathy of the
I enjoy
protagonist.
the sociopathic tendencies of the
There.
protagonist.
Yes. I thought it was a nice. It was refreshing from what we've been reading before.
Yeah,
violence
I know
and
what you
the-
mean. I disagree because it was creepy as
It
fuck.
was really creepy.
But you know, maybe if we were reading like a Dexter fan fiction or something, it would be more appropriate. But as it
Well-
was, like, I don't know. I was just a little confused about how it was presented because it very much read like, on the surface, this guy has it all, but little does everyone know. And it's like, you know, one of those sitcom kind of deals where
Oh,
they have like
yeah.
a dark secret.
And of course, he's filthy, disgustingly rich billionaire
Oh my god.
with his
Wait, hold on.
$400,000 Ferrari, $100,000 home gym,
$120,000
Armani
watches,
Yep.
$7,000 Armani
suit,
suits.
$100,000 gift to his escort so she can find a new life.
Yeah. I think this is a good time to get into the list of characters, because there are like 4, honestly, in this book. So there's Harris. What?
Thorn,
Yes, Harris Thorne,
the
the multi-billion-dollar man, and let's see who else is there. There's Vanessa, this 19-year-old pop diva.
he sees her on TV and thinks,
He's,
"Oh,
I'm in love
I'm in
now.
love.
I've felt cold and empty inside for years, but now this 19-year-old is like getting it going for me.
And there's a lot of guys in jail who that's how their love story started.
Oh, there's Diane, the escort, who looks exactly like Vanessa.
yeah." He called the escort service and specifically
requested. Yeah, he had like an order form. He was like, blonde hair, check. Like athletic, slim build,
between
check.
5'7" and 5'11".
Yeah, check. Big boobs, check. Like straight hair.
Oh yeah.
Had to be straight hair. And then there's kind of at the end, Chelsea.
Chelsea, that's her name.
Yep,
I'm
Chelsea.
just gonna call her slutty waitress.
Slutty. She's a bartender. Come on, get
Well,
it right.
she walks all the way over to his table, so she's a waitress too.
I thought he was sitting at the bar.
Oh,
I'm
I
pretty.
mean, it's California. She's probably going to be an actress.
Well, no, that's interesting that you bring up that you thought he was sitting at a table because it's entirely possible that it was stated that he was both sitting at the bar and sitting at a table, because I've seen in this book numerous inconsistencies with what's happening in any given scene. Like, really ridiculous. Like, at one point, a woman is drinking a martini, and then 2 pages later, she's drinking her margarita. And at no point was it ever inferred that she got a new drink. She finished her first drink. Like, this person just did not.
Maybe she had too many martinis and then she forgot what she was ordering and she was like, "Give me a margarita," and they're like, "Okay," and it just came out margarita.
But she didn't.
who is this?
It was. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. Don't tell me.
Diana?
No. It was Nanette. No, not Nanette. What the fuck was that hooker's name at the
Don't utter
beginning?
that name in this room.
No, she wasn't really a hooker.
She's an unpaid hooker.
Yeah, she's just a slutty gold digger.
I was about to say, what's an unpaid hooker? That's just a slut, isn't it?
Skilled amateur.
No, she had some really stupid name.
Oh, Nadine?
Nadine.
Right,
That's
okay.
right. I knew it started with an N. Come on, give me some credit.
I forgot about that part.
Yeah, so I just would like to go ahead and read for you. This is a 2-parter. I highlighted it in 2 different colors, if you can see, because they were ridiculous for completely different reasons. So the first part is the description of the character, and the second part is the gratuitous 90s reference. So here we go. He was one of the richest, most eligible bachelors on the planet. Entrepreneur extraordinaire, record mogul, owner of a championship NFL team, internet kingpin, real estate money machine, all of it true, and all of it a carefully constructed facade of cool. And then it goes on. What?
It's like Donald Trump. Then,
Oh
right?
wait!
Oh, just
oh
wait.
wait!
Are we
Just you
getting
wait.
there? Are we-
The next sentence, literally the next sentence. He had been compared to Bill Gates, Donald Trump, and Richard Branson, all rolled up into a Fight Club era Brad Pitt lookalike with Will Smith height. I
lived
love the 90s. Woo! Like, what is going on here? Like, this person, all of their references are from like the 90s and early 2000s. There's a point where they're like, oh, and she was wearing sneakers with her dinner outfit a la Avril Lavigne. And I was just like, have you been living under a rock for like 15 years? What is happening right now?
Just when they stop going to class.
Well, you know, if you live under the subway bridge, like, you probably don't get a whole
She's
lot of
not up
pop
on pop
culture. Diverse living arrangements. Yeah, so here we see again the ridiculously conflated image of a man that every woman wants, who's just rich and fabulous and, you know, buff and tall.
Well, he always found himself to be more intelligent, more interesting, funnier, sexier, more athletic, and more talented than just about everyone he ever had met.
I think that's like a general description of most men.
Oh, same. Yeah, this guy totally doesn't have any issues with narcissism whatsoever. But listen, he grew up poor. With a single mom. Like, it's not his fault. You know, he worked for everything he has. Wait, there's actually a quote about it. Very exciting. Wait, here's the quote. Consistent hard work over time will add up to extraordinary gains of huge success, but you have to be willing to make the sacrifice and to make sure this is what you want. There was nothing free in this world and everything had a trade-off. Okay, so which socialist paper did you lift that from? Like, just saying. Like,
One of our SJW friends.
I know. If we work hard, we'll be rewarded. Like, have you been in the real world? Like, no, you won't. Not all the time. Yeah, so
Oh, but she had some non-PC language in this.
she
That was
totally
surprising.
had, for someone who is reputedly very interested in social justice, we both individually highlighted this quote separately without having spoken with one another. I cannot stress this enough.
It's about Diana, who's the escort he hires.
Yep. How far back do you read from?
I can go back as far as I need to.
I would say the first full sentence of that page.
You know,
Okay.
is it like Michael Jackson might say, was she dirty Diana?
Okay, you need to be quiet, Scorch. Go ahead.
He didn't usually talk much with the occasional call girl he ordered. Sometimes it was easier than going out. But Diane seemed to be far removed from the average airhead. She was a little ditzy, but by no means retarded.
That was like another one of those moments where I was like, oh, man wrote this. Like, who is going to say that except for a dude? He's just like, she was kind of ditzy, but it wasn't like she was retarded or anything. Like, no.
I mean, I would still fuck her, but
Yeah, I
she
mean,
definitely wasn't retarded.
basically, like.
And he did, although it didn't go into any details.
No, that's another thing about this. No details whatsoever about sex. It was just like, oh, and then they had sex. The next morning, he had a hangover, and
But
it was like the devil's claws ripping into his skull. Like, you know what
He
I mean?
kind of zones out.
He blacks out.
He blacks out.
And he drinks whiskey, like, consistently throughout the day.
Well, he has to drink it in the morning because that's the only way to get rid of the hangover, right?
Yeah, hair of the dog that bit ya.
That is actually correct.
That's a line. I have that highlighted too.
I literally, oh my God, this guy is so fucked up. And it's completely unrealistic.
Right, exactly. So,
Like, what the fuck does he, like, how does he do work? He spends all of his day, he spends 3 hours every day working out
yep,
on
and
an
then
empty
he takes
stomach
a cold shower,
Yep.
gets in the hot tub.
and eats breakfast, which is
In the hot tub
always
with his
6
personal chef.
eggs, 6 eggs, 1 cup of oatmeal measured dry, 2 slices of wheat toast with sugar-free strawberry jam.
So this is like the guy from, what is it, Psycho? American Psycho? Is that what it is, right? Like standing
Oh
in
yeah,
front
the
of
Christian Bale movie.
Yeah, standing in
Everything
front
has
of the
to be, like,
mirror.
very precise.
Yeah, standing in front of the mirror, just like flexing his abs.
Maybe she watched that movie and thought, I want to write about that.
Yeah,
It
maybe.
was like that
That's the
the
psycho-
business card scene, but with oatmeal. He's like, look at the crisp of that oatmeal, finally made.
But he has.
Have you
a,
seen that movie?
Yes, I have.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
He pays his personal chef 6 figures to be at his beck and call whenever he needs it.
Yeah,
But he
and
doesn't eat.
He doesn't. He no. This was another thing that I thought about highlighting, but I figured I could remember it long enough to make fun of it on this podcast. It definitely made a point of saying that he enjoyed using fasting as like
Oh yeah.
a
to
way of
tone.
dropping. Yeah, basically doing a cut, right? But it was like he liked to eat every 3 days and then fast for 2 at the end of the month, and I was confused about what that meant.
I'm wondering if this is like how poor people imagine rich people live.
Yes,
Oh,
it totally
yeah, yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
is.
Her
It
like diverse
absolutely is.
lifestyle under bridges. She's like, I wonder how rich people.
She's
eat.
like, now I'm living
doesn't-
under this bridge. It's diverse, you guys.
He doesn't actually ever have to do any work.
No, he never does any work. No, he the only day that he does work that we hear about is the
yeah.
day after Vanessa leaves and he goes into his home office because it will like help distract him.
Well, he has meetings at one point
At
So-
one point, yeah. No, exactly. It's
because he meets with that man and he's like, "Oh, I was with his wife a couple times. I want to impress
No,
her
no.
by doing a good golf game."
yeah, they go golfing.
Yeah, and I have a quote from there. I'm trying
Because
I have
that's
so many
the first,
highlights.
I know that's the first time we see him like black out. Really.
Oh, he says,
While golfing?
if he had to listen to the windbag that was Jaywalker Scott Crimble's mouth blow hot air for 2 hours, he was going to gash the man's neck open with a broken beer bottle. So that's how he feels about doing work.
Oh, there's so many. Oh my god, so many terrible things going on in this
Well,
book.
him talking about murdering. Oh, the thought of murdering Vanessa sounded like the most logical thing to do in the world at that moment.
Right. Yeah.
Vanessa's the 19-year-old pop star. He had his people call her people, arranged a date.
Yeah. No. He literally told his PA, he was like, "You will set up a date with Vanessa." Not like, "Oh, I'll try to get that done for you." Like, no. You fucking will. We are dating, even though she is like almost 10 years younger than me. Fuck you. We're doing it. And then what did his chef made like lobster
Thermidor.
Thermidor, yes.
He was so impressed about how
Oh my
high
God.
he was finally met a woman on his level
Mm-hmm.
of success.
Yeah.
And she shows up in a ripped t-shirt,
A ripped band
super
t-shirt,
mini
a
skirt,
mini
and
sk-
sneakers.
Yep, a la Avril Lavigne.
So
Yes.
classy. You
So
go into a mansion
classy.
and you wear that.
Dude, rich people live different lives, clearly. we were just having a conversation about this earlier today.
I mean, is this what she thinks work is like? Did you get any of the quotes that prove this clearly wasn't edited?
Oh, well, a lot of the things that I highlighted that proved that this clearly wasn't edited were things like discrepancies in what was happening in the scene, like the martini margarita incident.
Oh, yeah, didn't they like spell click, but it was like the wrong?
Oh, yeah.
They
the
spelled
cognates? Yeah.
Yeah. I do have that highlighted actually.
They put click like what you'd be clicking something instead of like a click of people.
Right. So this says he's describing Vanessa. Peanut Gallery, you're here on our invitation. Do you mind? This is our podcast, not the Peanut Gallery podcast. You guys can do your own podcast
Peanut
if you
Gallery
want. Though. That would be perfect
That's a
for
funny
them.
But how could they wouldn't be the peanut gallery then if they were doing their own
Right, I mean,
podcast?
you're supposed to-
That's,
That's
like
the
that's like a
joke.
mind fuck.
I'm
Oh,
gonna
it wasn't a very
slap
good one.
all of you. Line up so I can just run down the line like. Tut, 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 tut. All right. No. So the quote is. This girl would have been too cool to hang out with any clique, but every clique wanted her.
Click, click.
And it's like, I'm clicking on this web browser. You know what I mean? If that's how it's spelled instead of
Both times?
No
both
Q,
times. CLIQUE, click.
Oh dear.
appropriate way to spell it.
Right. And then and then there's another one where this person wrote, the next day started like any other. Harris awoke around 4 and he didn't even attempt to go back to sleep. He knew it was all for naught. N-O-T instead of N-A-U-G-H-T. You know, like the appropriate English phrasing and word.
Fuck
Maybe
speaking
that-
English correctly.
Maybe it was just the Kindle transcriber that. Look on the bright side.
No. When Kindle transcribers make errors, it's because the font in the original book was like a little wonky. So you get like, instead of an H, you'll get like an L and an N typed.
Yeah.
And it's like, what? Like, wait, this is not how this is not a real word. And then you kind of like figure it out and you're like, oh, okay, well,
Oh,
I'm going to mark that because fuck these people.
I have 2 quotes here that are other reasons why I think a man wrote it.
Oh, yes, do share.
All right, the first one. Harris shoveled the last of his steak into his mouth and washed it down with a large chug of his beer. He slammed the mug down on the bar in true gangsta fashion.
Gangsta. Is that what
'Cause when I think
gangstas
of
do?
gangstas, I think of slamming mugs on bars. Bam! Yo, I'm a gangster. Clack clack. Slamming my mug down.
It's just not very romantic.
That's clearly more like fucking Viking or cowboy or something. That's not gangsta. What the fuck? Like, gangsta.
Slammed his 40 ounce
I
down
know,
on the table.
right? He
Yeah.
tried, he had a 40 taped to his hand, so he smashed it against the wall and like
Right.
shook all the blood, like the
We've all been there.
blood spattered
He's just
glass
trying to,
shards.
He's just trying to party like a rock star.
Maybe this is how she thinks people drink when it's not in a paper bag.
Oh! Wow. That was great.
And then women had worked so hard to strive for equality and independence, but truly, deep down, in the most primal recesses of their minds, they wanted to be taken.
I've been saying this for years and
Yeah,
people
I mean,
get mad at
not
me.
wrong.
so-
Definitely not wrong.
No, it's the
not
social
romantic.
social justice warrior woman
Dude, she's
saying
lying
this. It's really
to her
funny.
husband.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, if her husband is a social justice warrior, that's
He's definitely pretty beta.
yeah, he's super beta. So she's really just transcribing all of her fantasies about like being taken and like basically Harris Thorne is her like dream man because he's the one that does all the things that her beta ass husband won't do. Romance novels are escapism for the author and the readers.
Right,
like
yeah.
truly. It's pretty ridiculous.
But the stuff like where is that?
Oh wait, can we talk about while we're talking about sociopathic tendencies?
Right, that's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
Women
I've got it
always
right
looked
here.
more beautiful when they were sleeping.
Yeah, there's that line, and then
There's a
That's
better one
creepy.
though. Oh yeah.
That's creepy.
I have a line about that that's both creepy and incorrect, English like grammar wise. It goes like this: Harris was vaguely aware of how strange it was that he actually preferred a sleeping woman when he making love, but he had actually thought a great deal about it.
Wait, he prefers his women
prefers
to be
them
asleep.
sleep.
Right,
Wants
and
them to
there's-
be asleep when he fucks them.
There's another line.
No, when he making
prefer-
love. When he making love.
When he making love.
well,
yes.
and he also
Is there a
literally-
comma there, though?
No.
No comma.
It literally
Okay.
feels like
Dude, when IR make fuck, my favorite.
Excuse me, Scorch. I was literally in the middle of a thought. Do you mind? Say you don't mind.
I don't mind.
Thank you.
aren't you supposed to not thank him and be a little more demanding? He's Scorch.
He's a little too
As a-
far away to
as a
reach
man,
at the
I give
moment. Don't worry, he'll get his just desserts later. So what I was just gonna say about
we
that
having
whole
pie?
paragraph is that it seemed like there was a sentence written and then the author decided they wanted to change the sentence, but they didn't change it appropriately. You know what I mean?
They like forgot to go back and delete things.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Don't they have editors for that?
Not this
She couldn't
person.
afford it.
Editors cost money. Yeah.
Well, okay, so I don't know how many books are in this series. Actually, you know what? I can totally find out.
And
But-
while you're looking,
Too many.
I'll read the third quote about women sleeping.
Okay.
He thought about the earlier lovemaking and wished Nadine had been asleep in a way.
Oh, yeah, that hot chick that I brought home from the bar. That was cool. Wish she'd been asleep, though. Just something about still bodies, unresisting,
I
you
was
know?
gonna say something about dead fish is just like really attractive.
Limp fish.
Limp fish.
They're
Dead
still...
limp
Yeah,
fish.
He'd probably like dead fish too.
maybe.
That's only the next. He talks about murdering.
Yeah, murdering. He
Oh.
blacks out.
He's also literally violent in the story when he
grabbed poor
wait.
Carlos's nuts.
Carlos's idle threats were cut short as Harris reached out and squeezed his balls in a tight vice-like grip.
Wait, hold on, let me crank it.
Bold move. The bold opening move.
All right, so there are 6 books in the Harris Thorn series.
We're just gonna mull right past the whole like ball grabbing thing.
No, we're not.
We'll get back
this
to
is
that.
yeah,
Don't
this
worry.
is an interjection for something we were talking about earlier. There are 6 of them, and I'm guessing they're probably all about 93 pages. So I don't know why this bitch didn't just fucking like
Write one book.
yeah, seriously, like okay. Yeah, but we can now go back to the penis grabbing. I mean, sorry, the ball grabbing.
Ball grabbing, please.
My B.
No, specifically penis.
I know.
Only the penis. He grabbed him by the glands.
I mean, it's definitely a power
glans.
move.
Oh, I had
It's definitely a power
Did you
move.
look at
He's
the
going-
power-
grammar on one.
Did you look at the popular highlights for this book at all?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
They were very inspiring.
What, was the ball grabbing move a highlight? Because if it wasn't, it should be.
I didn't
no,
highlight
it wasn't.
That's surprising.
It wasn't.
Well,
a
see, we
popular
don't have
highlight.
balls, so we don't really care when they get squeezed.
It's true, but I mean, we
Okay.
talked about it a little bit before
She
the
says that
podcast. But it's
terrifies a
like
little.
it's definitely not my opening move in a bar fight. But I mean, damn, I think it definitely puts your opponent off their feet. I mean, if a dude just grabbed me by the balls and started like a hard squeeze, I'd be like, oh wow, you got my fucking
You'd be like, oh, harder, daddy.
Oh wow.
those are my balls. I need those. I need those.
Do you really though?
Yes. You can't just
Yes.
squeeze and pop them and then go like, oh, but you'll be fine. Like there's
Yeah,
definitely
they can
gotta be
pop.
some
Oh
long-term
yeah, for
damage.
sure.
Please don't say
Pop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, moving on.
Like
I'll change the
override-
subject.
No, no, no,
Ophelia,
like-
you ever take an egg and just like squeeze it in your hand? Till
No,
it
that's not
explodes?
what squeezing balls is like. Squeezing
No,
balls
but
is
the-
like
I'm tr-
squeezing overripe persimmons with a skin.
Persimmons.
Persimmons. Wow.
And I thought
Fuck
only the
you guys.
protagonist was a sociopath.
This is what people highlighted. World peace could not be achieved because it is in man's nature to destroy the world.
Where men hit things with fire. Oh wait, hold on. Here's one. Most. Oh, wait, hold on. She held her hand out gingerly, and Harris took it between his fingers and slowly kissed it. This was a classy move that melted most women, and no man ever did it anymore because it was considered cheesy and gay. Fucking amateurs. Yes, it does. And not only does it say fucking amateurs, but the fucking amateurs part is in italics. So you know it's for real.
Amateurs.
Dude, he's so disgusted by other
Well, the
humans.
amateurs reading this, the amateur bodybuilders reading this can read. If you wanted 5% body fat, or if you wanted to achieve greatness in anything, you had to sacrifice everything else.
It's true, though. If you want 3% body fat and you're not genetically inclined towards it, you've got to work for it.
Oh, Chelsea also
You
calls
better
him
work.
cowboy.
She
a
calls him
bunch of
cowboy
times. I
all
forgot
the
about
time. We're
that.
like, bitch, we're in California, not Texas, okay?
Was that one of his jobs, though?
He might have. Wait, we don't know what kind of online entrepreneur.
Entrepreneurial.
No. What kind of online entrepreneur he was. He could have had a campsite.
Could have had a cowboy campsite, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean, just
Howdy, ladies.
something about calling
Dude, that's
someone
very
cowboy.
in right now with Red Dead.
The cowboy thing?
Oh, dog, everything.
Dog, don't.
They're gonna
Remember
say-
what podcast you're on,
I wonder
Scorch.
how many. I wonder how if we did a search like and saw the correlation of cowboy related pornos. It's around the launch of Red Dead. Like I bet the first week there was just like cowboy porno after cowboy porno.
It's
like,
always been a popular.
howdy, partner. I'm going down to ye old
Well, we
saloon
did
to
read
get me
a
some
couple of
that there
cowboy romances.
sarsaparilla
We
and
did.
pussy.
Scorch.
Oh, that's true, we
Scorch.
did.
Scorch.
What?
Bring it down.
We were talking about how we did read a couple of cowboy romances.
It's true.
A
Is that the
couple?
one-
Or did we just? I
Well,
thought we
you
just
read one when I read the Alien Space Pirates.
I read the centaur one.
Close enough to cowboys.
I mean, they were on a ranch in like fucking Wyoming
No,
or
one of the
something.
wasn't that one of the very first ones we did. Was it?
Yeah, it was the one where he punched the guy in the face.
And then
when
he
you met
was
him at the craft
like-
fair.
Jackson Cocker.
Yeah,
Jackson Cocker.
Jackson Cocker.
Yeah, you gotta say it like that, like Rauderbjörn. Come
It's cool. We're deep enough in the episode.
gather round, let me spin you a tale. Anyway, inside joke. No, this this was a really terrible book. Did you get the quote about how he like actually despises other people?
I had some quotes about him hating people.
A few quotes.
But again, I have so many.
I like.
Oh, he hated most people and looked down upon them.
Right. Yeah, definitely that.
And that was one of the reasons he constantly failed to find a real relationship.
That's the only one.
Shocking.
Yeah, that's the only one.
I am flabbergasted right now.
I go after 19-year-old pop stars. I can't
Wait.
imagine why my love
Oh,
life
we
sucks.
have to go over what happened with her.
Yeah, we do. And then I want to read the description of the video. Okay, so
It's the only explicit part in the book.
I know it really is, and it's disgusting. It's like worse than Temptation. That fucking awful
BBW?
Hey, Ophelia,
BBW.
can you just make sure you're talking to the microphone?
Oh, I thought I was supposed to talk.
Into
Wait
my
for the
wine glass.
microphone.
Hello? There's like a little string. Okay, so Vanessa was, the slutty 19-year-old pop star. And, he has his PA just set up a date for the two of them. And he sends a car for her because going to pick her up would be giving her the upper hand in the situation. Whereas if he just sends a driver to come and bring her to his home, he maintains the upper hand, which is very important in business deals and relationships, apparently. So she shows up and she's got her like fucking Avril Lavigne outfit on, and he's like thinking about her body, and then in like very male oriented words, like descriptions. It's like no woman ever writes like, oh, maybe she's a lesbian.
Them
Maybe
big
she's a
tits.
secret lesbian who living under a bridge with a man for some reason. I don't know. That doesn't make any sense, actually.
Was that part of the book?
But no, no, the author. No. So this slutty 19-year-old comes over to his house and he has her served lobster thermidor.
She's
And
not just a slutty 19-year-old. She's a world famous pop star on tour
yes, that's
who
true.
took a break from her tour.
Yeah, to come slut it up at his house. And like there's a point where she like eats some lobster and she's like, it's like an orgasm in my mouth. Like and then they have like some very heated conversation. And I noticed this as well. The author used the verb flirted like overmuch. Like, ooh, like you're so bad, flirted Vanessa. Like, oh, I like being bad. Harris flirted bad. Like, it was just, it was very repetitive. Like, she didn't use enough diverse words in her writing.
Are you surprised? She couldn't figure out the difference between than and then either.
Yeah. Oh my God. It was, yeah. Wait, which one do you?
I
what do
found
you want?
Vanessa's description.
Okay, yeah. Here we go. She was breathless in every possible way. She was about 5'9" in heels with long, slender legs. Her face was a beautiful mixture of childlike innocence and wonder with a strong dose of don't fuck with me, tough girl attitude. The most beautiful green eyes locked with his gaze and held it in a gentle yet firm embrace that refused to relent. This seemed to cause a temporary paralysis in his vocal cords, and he felt as if he were just smiling like an idiot. He prayed it made him seem aloof and cool. Oh my God. She was dressed to fucking kill. Literally, that's what it says. Vanessa wore a miniskirt with a torn rocker chick t-shirt that hinted at the goods on her chest, but refused to allow the eye's entry into that forbidden treasure. But the outline of the bra underneath pronounced the fact that she was at least a double D. Those amazing breasts sat atop a tight stomach with thousands of crunches in their history. This was evident in the ripped claw marks of the tattered shirt. She topped all of this off with sneakers a la Avril Lavigne style.
A la Avril Lavigne style?
Yeah.
Okay.
And a la is just a capital A and then the word la after it. which is
No
absolutely
accent?
no. Hello there, Harris said calmly. Hey, handsome, Vanessa played back.
handsome.
You look amazing, Harris flirted. I know, Vanessa smiled. Ugh. It's so like, it's like what I imagine like a 16, 17, 18-year-old like writing about. You know what I mean?
Could be. Talking about the double D's though.
I'm just talking about the simplicity of the description.
Oh, the
it's like, oh, let me pepper in some
The writing level.
Yeah. It's
Those
just like
double D's though, that's like I can understand why you'd be like, oh, this is a dude.
right,
Yeah.
right,
Dude. I'm like-
absolutely.
She's got double what? Oh, now I'm interested.
It's not like round, luscious
sure.
bosoms. It's double
Right,
D's.
right. It's whoa, look at those boobs. Sick. Yeah. And then there's like another point where it's just describing, he's like, oh, I can see the nipples through the outline of like your t-shirt. And it's like,
Oh,
okay.
I forgot about this part too, where they're joking and he's like, I almost met you at a party one time.
Oh my God.
And she's like, well, I saw you leave with those two drunk girls. And I thought you could do better. And he goes, yeah, I could do better. I was with Miss California the next night.
He's like bragging
and
about
then
his sexual conquest.
What
to,
he did
like-
was illegal in 20 states, including California. With Miss California.
So involved a sheep. No, I'm just kidding.
But not illegal in
No,
Afghanistan.
that's legal in 30 states.
Or in New Hampshire.
That might be true.
No, it is true.
Is
What's
it
true?
really
It's legal in New Hampshire.
It's legal to
Oh.
have sex with farm animals in New Hampshire.
Yeah, bestiality
So
is
not
legal in
illegal.
30 states.
Is you know?
Yes.
Yeah, 'cause my buddy Treesus has a joke about it.
Anyway, so they spend this night of amazing, sexy sex
well,
together.
it just implies it. It
Is that the
doesn't
exact
go into
phrase they
detail.
used too?
Pretty much. Like it was, nothing special. And
it
then
was
he like
so hot, and we totally did it. It was so hot when we did it that the doing was so done with.
Basically.
yeah, kind of.
The next morning.
Well, yeah, and then he doesn't wake up at 4 a.m. He wakes up to like the sun shining on his face, and he's like, "What? Like this never happens. I'm in love."
Oh, he goes into psychopath mode. Right
Yeah.
now, he could feel the walls inside his own psyche coming unhinged as the doors opening up slowly. And the doors opening up slowly.
Yeah,
The cracks of light were beginning to invade a long closed door deep within him.
yeah. So he's losing it.
Yep.
So then a couple days go by. She's like, I gotta skip, got tour, tee and then like bounces.
Oh, he drives 2 hours to drop her off at the tour bus.
Yep. And then not only does he do that, but what, 5 inches?
Just move the glass so it's in a little more. Thank you.
Okay.
He's worried about the composition of the
See,
shot.
see that? The whole point of me doing that was so he didn't like interrupt anything, and then like
The little
I
text
could've
message.
just
A little
saved
text
all of that,
message
and I
set.
could've
You
just been like, "Hey, move that."
You interrupted my train of thought, though. I was trying to like continue on with.
You
well,
were
you
were
bitches are
describing
on your phone
psychopaths.
all day long. You can't look at the one time you don't look at your phone. So I need you to see a message.
All right, we're going to talk about Vanessa now that you distracted.
Yeah, thanks. So then she's gone for like a while.
She's supposed to be on tour for 2 weeks and then come back, and they have a date in 2 weeks
Yeah,
or a month
yeah.
or something.
Somehow they like set up a bunch of shit. He's like, he noticed how when Vanessa was here, he did not need the bourbon in the morning. Like, okay, dude. So then he gets an email like from a very heavily encoded email address.
That his go-to hacker couldn't figure out.
Right, that his like on-call computer
Creep.
whiz hacker man
You haven't
friend.
mentioned that yet. Who's this?
We don't. His name is Bob.
He just like
calls-
has a hacker in his back pocket.
Yeah, kind
Yeah,
of.
he
This is
calls
my
Bob.
friend. He's the hacker. He
Yep.
does things for me.
He's like, don't let anyone see this.
Yeah.
That's the guy from last week's book.
No. What? Wait, was his name Robert?
No, it was Jack.
It was Jack. Yeah. No. So it couldn't have been.
Jackson.
Please silence all cell phones while in the room. Okay, thanks.
Is that Christmas music?
No, it's default ringtone.
Yeah, okay.
So classy. So he gets an email that just says Vanessa and her producer. And he's like, what the fuck is this? And he opens it and it's a video And I will commence reading the description now because it's horrifying.
Trigger warning.
Yeah, trigger warning. A video appeared on his screen just then. It was Vanessa. No doubt about that. He could clearly see her face. She was in bed with an older fat man with long, mangled hair. The man was a hairy mammoth. Curly, matted hair covered his shoulders, chest, and his fat gut. He was in bed with Vanessa. They were making love. Harris couldn't breathe. He could clearly see the date on the bottom of the camera. This was recorded last night. He felt sick. After he had dropped her off at the tour bus, she had gone and slept with this old fucking record producer guy. Literal.
I've never seen a recording where the date was correct. It's always like 1996, you know? Like,
It's like, or sometimes it's like so far in the future. It's like, 2056, and you're
Right.
like, what? Like, wow, cool. I guess they've mastered the Benjamin Button pill or something. Like, yeah, honestly, the most descriptive sex was that.
Well, it's the only time they describe it as it's happening, because the rest of the times he recalls that it had happened.
Right? He's like, yes, that time we had sex 45 minutes ago. It's really stupid. And there's no description of the sex at all. Like, even then, you could, it was just like, they were making love. Okay, like, gonna give us anything else? Like,
So he got in his $400,000 Ferrari and zoomed away from his lavish mansion.
yeah, then he loses it and decides to like slum it like
Yep.
a fucking upper middle management like asshole. And he's like, I'm gonna go to JC Penney and buy some civilian clothes. Like,
Oh boy, Coles.
I know, right?
from your descriptions, it sounds like there's more description about how much things cost.
Yes.
Yep.
Everything has a price tag on it. And the most descriptive writing I've seen is like his workout routine.
Yeah.
Like, she spends so much time writing about like, then he does lat flies, and then he does like push-ups, and then he does weighted dips, and then he does the tricep pulley machine.
Oh,
and then he
switches
uses
off every
no,
day.
this is the worst fucking part. He uses Smith machines to do his squats, and I'm just like, "Wah! You think you're strong, motherfucker? Like, don't use Smith machine." Oh,
I don't know what a Smith machine is.
I need a minute.
I just know about he had a rowing machine,
Swallow 'em
a
again.
sedentary bike, and what was the third thing? A treadmill, maybe?
Yeah,
And he would switch
no,
between-
elliptical. No, there were
elliptical.
4, right?
And he would
There was,
switch
like,
between them.
Yeah, an elliptical, a treadmill, a rowing machine, and the
A bike.
stationary bike.
Yeah.
Did you say sedentary bike?
Sorry, stationary bike. I knew it was something like
I mean, similar, but that's not exactly what it's called.
So this author knows less about workout equipment than, I don't know, employment or like housing, you might say.
So I'm gonna guess fat.
Oh, well, there's no picture, so we have no idea.
I
if
was
she's
gonna say
starving
there's
on the
more.
street, she's not.
Well, but there's more description about workouts, how much things cost. Nothing about sex. We're talking about how it says something about the author. I wonder if like her husband's fat, poor, and like terrible in bed.
Her husband
Yeah,
is like,
it's
the character based on her husband is the producer character that fucking Vanessa sleeps with. She's like his matted hair and his fat curly haired
Curly
gut.
hair is coming out of his back and his
The only
chest
one who
is
gets a
fat
description.
Gut.
No,
Wait, did he have
seriously.
curly hairs on his fat gut?
Yeah.
Ew!
Hot. Yeah, don't you kink shame Ophelia? Some people are into that.
Well, not R.J. Winter or whatever her name is.
RG.
R.G.
It's RG Winter. Have a little respect.
No.
Not really.
Okay.
Well, her
Respect is
husband-
I was
earned.
just bluffing.
Her husband's very into social justice.
He's
so-
like, babe, I printed out those stickers for you for the rally on Tuesday.
I colored your poster in.
Look at this hat that I knitted. It's pink.
It looks like a vagina.
Ugh. No wonder why she has to write fantasies.
He's like, my family is of Jewish descent, so we didn't circumcise. No, wait, they do circumcise when they're Jewish, right?
desperate man.
He's like, I know my family's not Jewish, so I decided to go through an adult circumcision for you, babe.
Ugh. God bless their soul.
If he's that beta, he would do it.
He's like, you know what? Let's just do the way they do it for like horses and cows when they castrate them. Just like tie something around it and let it fall off. I have a lot of really useless, entertaining facts about monarchs with priapism and stuff like that, which was brought to mind by our recent conversation, but I guess I won't go into it. Louis the 16th. Anyway. Where were we? Scorch, stop eating butt chocolates.
What are you calling it?
They're asshole chocolates.
Is it really chocolate?
Scorch, show her.
Can I have a piece of chocolate?
Okay.
After.
Yeah, Ophelia's always hungry.
I am starving.
We can't feed you. We're poor. On that note, buy our merch. No, I'm just kidding. Donate money.
Check out our PayPal.
What was that
Please
one I
help
mentioned last week? Patreon.
Patreon. Oh my god. Oh, we could do like a.
Check out our Patreon.
You know, if you donate money, you can see us getting ready or something.
Doing makeup. Nothing more.
You're such a prude. Why are you doing this podcast?
We'll go behind the scenes of
It's a
between the
contrast.
covers.
Oh, wow. I'm pretty sure you just called me a slut. Well, you know.
Takes one to know
I
one.
guess what's true is true.
Quiet down in the peanut gallery.
Anywho, so do you have any prescient relationship advice for Mr. Harris Thorne?
Going to JCPenney and buying a used Nissan or Kia or whatever it is not going to make your life better. Immediately, he goes to a bar, meets a slutty waitress with her cleavage hanging out, and he's like, this is the one. She's so classy.
He's so
She's like
sad.
the alpha female of
This
small
watering
town.
hole.
Yeah.
He's like, tits, not fat. What more could you want?
Big brown eyes and long straight brown hair parted in the middle.
Yep.
Which I just would like to say parted in the middle is not a good
No,
look.
it's not good. But this is
I mean,
just...
it depends, I guess.
No, for guys, it's okay.
Okay.
For girls,
For
no.
guys, it's fine.
about to say.
I mean, for girls, only if you're going for like the twiggy look. If you have the right, like, if you have a heart-shaped face,
You
I
have
would
to
say
have a
it's
big
okay.
forehead.
Yeah.
But he's like, it's like 2 hours later, he's driving up north through the mountains or something.
His
and
car fucking breaks
his car
down.
breaks down.
He has no idea what to do because he's a rich asshole, and he's just like, "Rah, my car's broken."
And even though he
Fuck."
runs 20 miles a day, he walks 5 miles and he's sweating. Checks into the Econo Lodge.
No, hold on. I will defend him on the walking 5 miles and getting sweaty. Your body just sweats, you know. Like,
Yeah, but he's...
And I mean, maybe it was hilly. We don't know.
Okay. Well,
I don't have a problem with the 5 mile walk inducing sweat. I do have a problem with just like everything else happening.
and this is
He's
what?
really gonna miss his jacuzzi in the mornings. What did he
This
do
is
with
the-
his house? Did he sell his house? Like what?
No,
His
no.
house is
Just
just
walk
chilling
away.
there. He's just like
He
"Fuck
gives
this."
Diana $100,000
right.
to start a new life, which it's not what she's gonna do. She's gonna buy heroin. But he
I mean, but her dream is to be a teacher.
didn't she have track mark? Oh wait,
No, she didn't
I'm
have track
confusing this
marks.
with something else.
You are definitely. He's
It might
just
have
like
been a different audiobook.
good.
My other homeless
Then he
sociopath
calls
porn.
the police, reports the escort service.
Yeah,
And he's like, I
he
hope they
totally
get
turned
what's
from
coming
it-
to them.
Well, on what, like not paying taxes or
Yeah,
some shit?
tax evasion.
Whoa, big alpha man.
So, and then he goes to JCPenney, buys a new car. I don't know what he does with his Ferrari, but he buys a new car.
It's probably just in his garage with like his other several like very expensive sports cars that were mentioned.
Lamborghini. And so that same day, he meets Chelsea
Chelsea and Carlos,
and Carlos.
his new friend, who's about to have a
And he-
ruptured testicle. Apparently,
He's disgusted and humored by all the fat men watching sports.
yeah. He
And
thinks
he's
that
like-
he's like everything he does with this sense of sort of sociopathic detachment.
Yeah.
Where he's like watching people do people things, and he's like, puny mortals.
They like sports, even though they're not involved in it in any way.
Yeah, I know. Seriously.
And he owns
then
an NFL team.
it's like that whole part just like we forget about that. It's like, oh yeah, I guess like that's a thing, maybe. It's so stupid. The character development in this is fucking garbage.
What character development?
Case in point. I did save a review of this
nice.
book to read for you guys. Because I love reading other people's reviews. Let's see. Linda rated this book 2 stars.
2, that's generous.
I know it was very generous. Billionaire entrepreneur Harris Thorne lived the dream life of a well-known bachelor dripping with women in masses. Boredom had set in, everything was too easy, and he needed a challenge. 19-year-old Vanessa Michaels became an obsession for him. She had the girl next door image. Ensuring an introduction and a fantastic night, his heartthrob was perfection in every way. Or so he thought. I can't believe somebody wrote this. Sorry. The short story, with 9 chapters, immediately opened with a detailed portrayal of a self-absorbed, overindulgent man. Undercover, a billionaire romance, continued the preconceived impression of a man so wrapped up in his pursuit of sexual gratification at the expense of degrading women was realistic. Focus on hangover consequences was interesting and effective, and admiration for simplistic gestures. Over-concentration on characterization became too much, to the point of boring me. The characters were distant and failed to make a connection. However, in reflection, the writing delivered an obnoxious, aggressive approach to forcing love to happen, which, in turn, made the character and his actions very plausible with this type of mentality. At times I wondered where the story was going. It seemed fragmented to me. Eventually, it conveyed the message, love can't be rushed or forced, and it's the gradual progression required to appreciate the smaller, meaningful aspects of falling in love. Which I didn't get any of when I read this fucking book.
No.
This woman is high. Clearly does not know what she's talking
Unless
about.
she's talking about Chelsea, where they're in a bar. He's in a bar for a few hours. Oh, continuity error. He's eating eating a hamburger,
and then
it's-
he's eating steak. Yeah. It's like the fucking case of the martini turned margarita. It's terrible. Hold on. I'm going to look at these 1-star reviews on fucking...
It's on Amazon.
Yeah, this is Amazon. The title of this review is, I did not enjoy this book. First off, I find narrative type stories mostly boring as the reader does not feel involved. What dialogue there was unimaginative and unreal. I skip read this story in about 20 minutes. I have no interest in reading any more by this author. Zing. Oh, also, here's one. The writing is way over the top ridiculous. The story is awful. As I'm reading, I am thinking that Harris Thorne is a serial killer. Do not waste your time. Boring, no substance. Would not recommend this book. Didn't like it at all. Really silly book.
I think after the BBW romance being a surprise, disgusting fetish romance, I wouldn't have been surprised if they actually did have murder in this one. It was escalating through the story.
Kind of, maybe, but I'm not going to read the other 5 installments of it. Sorry. No interest.
Oh, come on, but they sounded so good.
Oh, look, this person wrote, childishly written, perhaps ghosted by a computer program.
This person would not recommend this book to anyone because could not read it because many pages did not download to the Kindle.
That's why you couldn't
Hooray.
read this book.
Thanks,
Little
Sandra.
plot. Oh, wait. Shallow, egotistical
Kendall was
lead
doing you a
character. Little plot, lots of language, not enjoyable at all. No character growth. Kept checking on how much longer before it would finally be done.
I feel like it may have been written by someone with, more hangovers than sex.
Who the fuck is giving this 5 stars? Mom read this one. No complaints. She must have liked it. She prefers cowboy romantic comedy novels. All right, Deb in Seattle, you probably need to get your mom some Prozac or something. A good read? Fuck you. No, it wasn't.
This one said, I must have missed where it states that this is a novella. 1 star because they didn't realize it was a novella and it was too short.
Oh, there's more.
But wait, the language is too graphic sometimes. When was there ever graphic language?
There's lots of
No
F
fat
words in
bitch's
it.
face was forced into a plate of bacon and like she had to eat her way out in this. Like I don't hear any graphic language
they literally,
happening.
like skipped anything that could be
There was nothing.
considered graphic.
The most graphic sexual description was
Look at her ankles.
they were making love. And it wasn't even about the main character.
They said penis.
No, they didn't.
Loved the first book. Really wish it had been longer.
What?
That's what this person said.
Was it still a 1-star?
No, 5-star.
Wow.
And this person's name is Catherine with an R, not an L.
Well, that tells you
So,
something.
Lisa Marie, not to be confused with my mother. I like how he doesn't just let things hold him back. He wants to continue to find a future with someone, and he takes a trip to find himself in a woman he could love.
Suck a cock. Great book. Really enjoyed this book. One of my favorite books. What?
Great
One of your
service.
favorite books?
Guys, they let retards read too.
Like Catherine.
Catherine. Enjoyed the story. Really? You enjoyed the story?
I really like this book. Who?
Who are these people? Can they read?
Awesome day read. Take a whole day to read.
It literally took me. How long did it take me to?
Not even an hour.
Is it 90 pages?
93, yeah. Not even an hour for me to read it. I was just like, terrible. I enjoyed the story, but the storyline could have been better. No shit.
enjoyed
This
it.
person would recommend it to family, friends, or anyone reading reviews looking for a good series of books to read.
Thanks, Mom.
Hold on. Laura Hunt gave this 4 stars and said, great cliffhanger that should rein in, spelled like the reign of the king, rein in most decent men and help them learn about how to find and treat a fine lady like myself.
What? I like to watch you sleep. I'm gonna kiss your hand even though people think it's gay.
Gay. Oh my god. 4 stars. Really enjoy reading all the suspends and love in your books.
What?
Suspends.
What
Like-
love?
Suspends. I'm still hung
I'm
up on
fixated on the
suspends. I can't get past. This person gave it 4 stars and said little repetitive and not much of a storyline, and that warrants 4 stars. What kind of
They're trying
fucking
to be
grading
nice.
system do you have?
It's no wonder that all the people that like gave it a high rating all have like terrible spelling errors in their review, and like you can tell it's their level of reading. Like, oh, good, this is as retarded as me, so my brain can.
No, they're just a little ditzy, but they're not retarded.
Oh my god. No. So that one got 3.2 stars out of 5. The next one in the series got 1 star. Like that's its average rating is a 1 star. Oh no, I kind of want to read it now. It's only 76 pages long.
And we
Could
already
read that
read
in
the
45
first
fucking
10 or
minutes.
15 pages.
I know, that's true. We did. We read half of it already. Chelsea is a beautiful young bartender with an angel's face and a strong exterior born of a life of hard times.
Hard times living in a cute little village in the
Hard
mountains.
She would
times, hard
never
to
admit it,
cock.
but she's looking for a savior. But now a dark figure from Chelsea's past has come back to haunt
Carlos.
her. Carlos Sanchez.
Wait, is it really Carlos Sanchez?
Yes. Dude, he falls in love
A
like
dark
every
figure?
fucking.
That's racist.
This person says, 1 star, the most painfully boring book I have ever read, mostly narrative, and the main character sounded like a teenage schoolgirl. I can't even imagine reading 3 more books in this series.
And we won't.
Amen. Amen. Wait, hold on. You sent a couple of books. Do you want to like just go ahead and nail down the next one we're gonna read right here?
Yeah, real
let's-
quick.
We just do it
On
off
camera.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, we want to
This is
show
our
the fans
podcast.
the process. We're gonna be 100% genuine with them.
I Set the Night on Fire, a bad boy firefighter novel, because
Yeah,
it's
I-
actually written by a man.
Okay, that's fucking awesome. We
Weston
should totally
Parker,
do that.
who's like, got a picture.
He's wearing an Alabama hat.
I don't know what that is. A for Alabama. Look, real man. He wrote the firefighter.
No, show the camera. Tilt it here. Like, Yeah, see?
So we should read that one.
He's a
He has a
man.
beard.
He
a
has-
man.
He has experience as a firefighter in EMS, so his books are about
And
firefighters
is a
and
man.
EMS.
Hi there, I'm Weston.
I'm
I'm a
man.
former firefighter / EMS guy who's picked up the proverbial pen and started writing bad boy romance stories. You didn't pick up the you literally picked up a pen and started writing the fucking stories.
I can't wait to make some proverbial mashed potatoes later.
I co-write with my sister, Allie Parker, as we travel the United States for the next 2 years. Why? Who's gonna write
They're writing
romance
romance
novels with their fucking
Hey
siblings?
sis, I just wanted to read these lines to you. Tell me what you think. And then
His
I was,
hard cock slid
I was tongue
slickly
deep in
into her wet
dripping
sheath.
I mean, I'd write romance with your sister.
The room was on fire, but
Which
The
one?
room was on fire, but her cunt was pressed against
Probably
my
not
face,
the
and
one
I
who was
like,
just
I was
pregnant.
looking like I was trying to start another fire on her pussy. What do you
Okay.
think, sis? Good, bad?
I'm gonna throw this creepy doll head at you if you don't desist.
Don't give me a microphone. Ow.
I warned you.
Put it back. Continuity, goddammit.
All right. Everyone's really
Smells
worried
everywhere.
about the fucking doll head. All right. Let's
Like
see.
bad luck in some culture.
What else does Weston have to say? Oh, you're going to find billionaires, bad boys, mafia, and loads of sexiness. Something for everyone, hopefully. I'd love to connect with you. Check out the links below and come find me. Okay.
the
Let's
sister
email.
already did.
Oh, girl. We should like actually message him and be like, "We're gonna read your book, one of your books, on our podcast. Like,
Come join the chat.
come join the chat." Wait, but we
Wait,
absolutely
he's from Boston? Is this it? Oh, I was wondering why you said that.
no, because he gave like 4 fucking website links to like get in touch with him.
Oh, okay.
I just thought it'd be funny to send him a message. Be like, "Hi." Although we definitely have to read Naughty and Nice for like our Christmas episode.
Yes.
Oh,
Coming
let's go
soon.
get slutty elf costumes for it. It'll be fun.
You can be a slutty elf. I'll be Mrs. Claus.
Mrs. Claus isn't sexy. You're not getting it.
I know how to do old age makeup.
Tits out, lip pout. It's not that hard.
Well, you got the lip pout part down when you do selfies.
Hey. No.
I can't even do
No,
it.
I totally don't do that.
Okay. Oh, you can't do it. You do it, Scorch. Do the gay thing. No, not the okay.
Oh,
Yeah, there you go. That was a weak tongue pop, though,
fuck
man.
you.
Okay,
No.
RuPaul.
Let's go, RuPaul. All right. So, have we I feel like this book is a formerly sopping wet cloth that we've just like wrung every bit of griminess out of, and now it's just sort of limp and damp, and we're kind of done with it.
Any more comments from the peanut gallery?
Dude, that descriptive paragraph that I just said was better than anything that was in that book we just read.
Yeah. The only comment is better you than me. So
Oh, we're
That's
gonna
true.
get you on the podcast for real, for real.
for real.
For real.
Like
You can
Re-
pick
it's
the book.
actually
make me
for
read a
Riri.
romance novel. Yeah, that'll be a hot day in Alaska.
That's
Wow.
what I
Leave me
thought
alone.
before
Yeah.
I did
Actually,
this
I was gonna say
podcast.
hot
Funny you
day
say
in
that.
hell,
Global
but-
warming. It's actually getting quite warm in Alaska. So.
In Alaska.
Alaska.
Catherine lives there.
Catherine. I love this book.
Bacon
Who's
triangles.
Catherine?
Jesus Christ.
Who's Catherine?
I don't know, but I know
Somebody
she
who
wrote
wrote
Bacon
one.
4-star
triangles.
review.
Someone what?
She put some thought into that one. It's 4 stars, not 5, not 3.
Oh, the reviewer.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Catherine.
R and L is not even next to each other on the keyboard.
It's not Catherine?
No. It was Catherine, like Kathleen, but
oh,
with an
like,
R
I can't
instead
spell my
of
own
an
name.
Maybe. I mean, I did once in middle school get 5 points off of a test for signing my name incorrectly. I wrote Abby Millie. I'm sorry.
Millie.
It just was. It is what it is.
Now everyone knows your name.
No. That doesn't sound anything like Nick's, so that's why I got it taken off.
Okay.
Oh, are you gonna give it another
No,
go?
I'm not giving it another go. I tell you.
Come on. What if I'm sick and you gotta do the plugs one day? I bereave in you.
You were sick. and
Kathleen
we didn't
bereaves
do-
in you. In Nebraska.
Can we write them down?
Oh my god. I probably do have them written down. Let's see.
Unreal.
Do we not have a graphic for this yet?
Wait, what happened?
Next, why don't you just you know it? You don't just you do it.
It's funnier when
One-
she does it.
One day she'll come up to the major leagues and she can do it.
I was just making stuff up, giving them wrong
It was clear.
names.
Yeah, that's why we haven't gotten any
We're
money on our
between-
Patreon.
Between
there are no bad
underscore
ideas in
cover
brainstorming.
at Facebook.
All right. No, go back to the better camera view.
No, this is fine. No, go. No. Okay. It's a little
Okay.
bright though.
Oh my goodness. So, now it's time for our plugs.
I'm getting ready.
All
Getting ready.
all right. Is all in preparation. So you can find us on Instagram. The banners underneath our names are our personal Instagram handles. We're also Between the Covers Podcast. You can find us on Facebook at Between the Covers Podcast. You can find us on Twitter at between_covers. We have a Gmail account, which is betweenthecoverspodcast@gmail.com, where you can send questions, comments, concerns, snarky, bullshit, whatever you want. Ophelia's dying to give people relationship advice, so just please send her something because we're waiting. We've been waiting for so long.
It can be anonymous.
Coincidentally, our PayPal is also betweenthecoverspodcast@gmail.com.
That's seen a little more action than our email too. Lots of people are donating.
Yeah, more people are donating than are emailing about relationship problems.
Thanks, Mom.
We're still working hard to get our merch site up. Really cool exclusives like t-shirts and bondage gear. So just let us know what you're interested in, but not too detailed. We don't need to know all of that.
Well, I'm working on some graphics, but working means
In progress.
in progress.
Yeah.
For a long time. I mean, they'll be done soon.
You're ruining my spiel, girl.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. While we're on the subject of plugs, don't forget to check out our awesome sponsors, Havoc Mead. Also, Grenfell Meadery is the same company. No, they absolutely can't see it, but
Can you put this up close?
Oh wait.
Oh.
yes, that's Grenfell. And do you have a Havoc glass over there?
I do not. But here, you can hold it up. Just hold it straight up. Bam.
Havoc Mead. Anyway, best fucking mead ever. If you're in Vermont, Massachusetts, or Maine, you can buy it in store. Otherwise, you're gonna have to take a day trip to Vermont, which is really cool. You should do that anyway. Paid for by the state of Vermont. Not really. They didn't pay us anything. And then check out the Bastard Sermon, our brothers in perfidy. They're a great podcast as well. And they're starting up their own network, which will be called the Bastard Network. And you guys should totally check that out because there'll be lots of really cool podcasts to listen to, like the shit talking
Like
cunts.
the social justice ones, the
There's one that's called
Women's
Racists in Cars. It'll be great. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. That's not a podcast. Or if it
racists
is,
in cars. Is that a real thing?
it's yes, racists do drive cars. Anyway, please check us out. We try to go live sometimes, but our podcasts come out Friday nights at 8:00 p.m. So definitely tune in then, and we'll see you next week for our masculine
EMS
EMS
written by a
firefighter
real
story.
man.
Yeah,
A real manly man.
But thanks for joining us and Between the Covers, and have a great night.
Good night.